Hey guys, it's Sasha Erickson. I'm not going to show my face today. I've actually been crying a little bit or a lot. Um, I needed to make this video because most of my content is always about, Mandela effects or very deep spiritual topics. And it's not that often that I make videos about the entertainment industry. Um, but I did grow up in Hollywood. I did grow up in the music industry. And I worked behind the scenes in music for a while, and I saw how dark it really was, and I had to leave that world fairly quickly. Um, this video today is going to be about the death of the rapper XXXTentacion. Um, Last summer, exactly 1 year ago, I was in Ireland with my son, and my son is just a huge fan of rap music. He makes beats, he raps himself, and every time we're spending time together, he will kind of show me all of his favorite artists and keep me up to speed. I'll be 40 next month, so I'm kind of not always up on the most up and coming current rappers, but I love rap music. And so my son sent me on this journey of this kid. God, I didn't think this type of thing would make me so emotional, but I'll explain why. So he put me on this journey of showing me about this boy, XXXTentacion. And the first video I actually ever saw of him was for the Double XL freshman class cipher freestyle that they do. And each year, Double XL magazine will kind of feature several new artists in a freestyle. And I'll have to leave you guys the link to this because I know if I put it in here, I'll get a copyright strike. But I watched Triple X in this freshman class freestyle, and I have never heard talent and skill like this child, this boy, this man projected from his spirit and from his being. Music can just be crap music. Music can just be pointless and full of nothing. But this boy had something so special within him. When he flowed, he was not, rhyming and repeating the same things over and over again. You hear a lot of these new rappers like Lil Pump, and every single song is just Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci. It's just repetitive, repetitive, repetitive. But this kid, XXXTentacion, when he did this freshman class freestyle, he floored everybody in that room. No matter who these other rappers were, I even think like Lil Uzi Vert and all these other kind of up and coming guys were in it. He smoked and floored everybody in an instant. I can't even put it into words. I had goosebumps all over my body when my son played me this video. And then I just had to know more. I had to know more about him. So then my son started showing me all of these interviews about him. And he was so deep. He was such a deep kid. And when we look at what rappers really have to offer today, I mean, let's use like Migos for an example, who happen to have been enemies of XXXTentacion. But every single song is just, the same content. Bitches, hoes, money, chains, gold chains. I got a girl, she's gonna swap with my ex-girl, my main girl's gonna swap with the other girl, and every single song is just sexual, about money, about pointless, empty, lifeless shit. And I'm sorry to be cursing on this, but I'm a little upset today. But when Triple X made music, it was art, it was poetry, it was so much deeper than anybody understands. Now, this kid had been in and out of trouble many times. He lost both his parents very young. He was like living with his grandmother. He had a difficult childhood. And at some point in his career, as he started to blow up really quick, he had allegations come forward from an ex-girlfriend of his. And this ex-girlfriend, claimed that he beat her up and did all this stuff while she was pregnant. And so they arrested him. Well, it basically turned out to be that he didn't beat her up. There was no proof of this, and he was released soon after, I think within 48 hours of this charge. Many other witnesses said that he hadn't been anywhere near her for months. You know, this was his ex that he even wrote the song Sad about. And I don't know if you guys have heard Sad, but my God, I'll just play you a little bit of how beautiful it is. I'll probably get copyright for this too. Let's see. And I probably can't play anymore. I may even get copyright for that and have to come back and cut it out. But that's music. That's beautiful. And that all those words that he's saying there were about what this girl did to him, because she put out there that he had beat her to a pulp when she was pregnant, and it broke his heart. And this song was basically just saying, who am I? Someone that's afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm sad, I know. I'm sad, I know. And he basically goes on to say, I gave her everything. She took my heart and left me lonely. I think broken hearts contentious. I won't fix, I'd rather weep. I'm lost and I'm found. But it's torture being in love. I love when you're around, but I effing hate when you leave. And so it's really deep stuff, you know? I mean, his words were like so intense. He was a poet. And so I had put out on social media my sadness for this child. And I was immediately attacked back by tons of people saying, how dare you support this child, or how dare you support this person when he beat up a pregnant girlfriend. And there was like this meme that someone had created, and it just started going all over the internet, and it was a picture of him next to her being beat up and all this stuff. I did tons of research, and I even did research with people that I know that are a little bit closer to the rap game, and from what I have found out, it was just proven left and right that this girl had been jumped by a group of other girls or something like that. There was absolutely no proof that he had done that, and he even led him to write this song Sad. He never even got to do the video for this song. This is how recent this stuff happened. And so I just thought it was disgusting that the first reaction that people have on the internet, and these are grown adults, is to applaud the death of this young man. Now, even, let's say, even if he did beat up his girlfriend, right? We weren't there. Nobody knows the truth. But is that a reason to applaud the death of a young man, a man who only reached the age of 20 years of life? I mean, that seems very inhumane to me. Regardless of what mistakes people make in their lifetime, it doesn't justify them being shot in cold blood in the middle of the daylight. And there's been a lot of other stuff that's come out about who might have done this. There might be connections to Migos, like I talked about before, who are just climbing high. In fact, Migos and Cardi B had a front cover of Rolling Stone the day after he died. There's also been some connections to Drake, because Drake had some beef with him as well. And we know Drake is way, way, way up on the top of the echelon. He is upper echelons at this point, you guys. If you don't know about Illuminati and all this stuff, and you think that's just some fake thing that's a meme going around the internet, it's not. Illuminati are an ancient order. And they started with kind of old creepy guys in the background, and now they are using these artists as tools. XXXTentacion, most people don't know about him because he didn't sell out. He was independent. He was doing all this stuff himself. He could have easily signed it on a dotted line, but you know what? He wouldn't have been controllable because he was a true artist. The spirit within this child is like undescribable. I cannot describe it to you. You have to see this freshman class cipher that I'm talking about. He just floors the room with his presence. And this is why the Illuminati and shitty rappers that have no skills out there wanted him taken out. He was a threat. He couldn't be controlled, and he was smarter and more talented than more than half of the rappers that exist today. And as I was seeing this, which was really weird, when I saw that he died, and I have to say, not only was he my oldest son's favorite rapper, but he was also our youngest son's favorite rapper. He influenced these kids across the board to make music, to make beats, to make a new style. But it was his poetry that drew me into this kid more than anything. And the day, 1 or 2 days before his death, I was looking on my Facebook, and I had written a post to Tupac many years ago. And I said, "Happy birthday, Tupac." And Tupac's birthday was June 16th. And then, I swear to God, 24 hours later, I hear XXXTentacion is dead. June 18th. And all I kept thinking about was how similar I felt his poetry was to Tupac. Now, Tupac was born and died before XXX was born. His real name is Joshe. So Tupac lived June 16th, 1971 and died September 13th, 1996. And Triple X was born January 23rd, 1998 and died June 18th, 2018. And so I just started to think, you know, this is one of the things that I do are past life readings for people. And Tupac popped up in my feed the day before he died. And then I saw her talking to my son about, God, he was like a modern day Tupac. Because think about it. Back in the day, in the 90s, Tupac was considered really, really, really controversial, right? I mean, his lyrics, his content, his words, everything was like, oh, he's so shocking, you know, for the 90s. And so if we had a modern version of this, and remember, this kid born and died after Tupac died, he brought a modern day version of the same type of shock value and also artistic poetry that Tupac brought to that era of the 90s. If Tupac was alive today, he would have been a XXXTentacion. The other thing that happened to Tupac time and time again was that he kept getting framed for things that he did not do. In fact, there's footage of Tupac coming out of jail going, I don't know who made this ish up, but I did not do this. I am being framed. And so time and time again, he would get framed for the same type of thing. And he would say, I swear to God, I did not do this. I did not commit this act. I did not. I think they even had accused him of raping a woman or beating a woman. Same type of thing. Anything to defame his character. And then what did they do with Tupac? Shot him in a car, close range, the exact same way these fools did to XXX. So XXX could be Tupac reincarnated. And many other people out there who are not a fan of him will say, how dare you compare these two? But I'm saying you got to take what the 90s were shock value to what shock value is today. And many of X's songs were very controversial, but that was his point. He rapped about what was real to him. Not what's going to sell records, not what is quote unquote cool right now. This man, this child was a visionary, and these other fools out there knew it. Whether it was Migos, whether it was Drake, it was somebody blood gang anyway, and y'all know what I'm talking about. The killers who came up and shot Triple X at close range were wearing red masks. And there's another couple fools floating around that were in the area that day, and you guys know who you are. They were right down the street from when this happened, and they were posting Instagram photos of them with red blood masks in their car. So you guys know who you are, and you know what you did. These were some hired guns. This gang stuff is just ridiculous. The music game is not what it used to be, you guys. You had to really be talented back in the day. You had to really make a difference. You had to really hustle. You had to really try hard. Now all you got to do to make it is join the Bloods or join the Crips, or you got to be willing to spread your legs if you're a woman or spread your ass if you're a boy. Sorry to say it, but that is absolutely what is happening in the music industry. These poor boys are being raped by these big moguls. Look at creepy fools like Rick Ross. I'm a fan of Rick Ross, but oh my God, that guy is not safe. People need to wake up to what the music industry is. And I believe if you are out there and you see this video and you were a fan of X and you're someone that's an aspiring rapper or anybody, go independent. Do not follow these fools, okay? Because you will end up dead. They straight up murdered this little boy, you guys. And I don't care what anybody has to say. It's not okay for a young man to be shot in broad daylight because people are intimidated by his talent. That is disgusting. It's inhumane and it's crazy. And it makes me think about, it's hard for me. You know, I have a son that's his age. I have a daughter that's his age. And maybe that's why this stuff hits me really hard. But I couldn't imagine that if my son or daughter were out there and they were sharing their talents with the world, that someone would take them out because they were intimidated or because they wouldn't join their little club. I think it's disgusting. And it made me think about lyrics to a song that I'd recently heard by Mike Will Made It. There's a song called Perfect Pint, and there's this one line that Kendrick Lamar says in there, and he says, "My hood love me unconditional. Your hood love you cause you on the instrumental though. This rap shit crazy, need the woo-saw." But here's the part that hit me the most, you guys. He said, sorry, I just got really emotional about this kid. He said, he's basically going on about they're screaming Compton, there must be two sides. He goes on and on and on about how there's all this gang stuff going on, but he doesn't want to be part of it. In fact, even Ray Shremmer, who are also in this song, they've made multiple tracks lately saying, if you want to hang out with the gangsters, go ahead, but I'm going to go ahead and just sit here and count my bread. I don't want to be there with the snakes in the grass because I don't trust them. Even a lot of these artists are now saying being a gangsta is not cool. XXXTentacion was not a gangsta. He was an artist, and that's why they took him out. All right, here's the line from Kendrick Lamar anyway in Perfect Pint. He said, "Everybody a Crip till they black and blue. Everybody a blood till they hemorrhaging." That I thought was so deep. Everybody a Crip until they're black and blue. Everyone's a blood until they're hemorrhaging. Think about that. Is it about the music now, or is it about this gang life? Is it about being fake and showing off, or is it about having talent? Is someone's life worth taking because you're intimidated by them? I don't think so.